Good evening, and welcome to the Heikadelic Show. We would like to take this moment to let you know that viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. So sit back, have yourself a nice cool drink or hot drink, and enjoy the show. And welcome once again to the Heikadelic Show.
You better subscribe to PINETREE Line Outdoors, and here's why. Have a look. It's been an incredible time. Aubrey Falls. Why are we here? What is this abomination behind us? Okay.
Nice.
Hey,
Welcome.
How's it
Nice
going?
to have you guys on. Everybody, welcome to the Heikadelic Show. Here we are again,
Another week.
Monday night at 9:30, ready to get down and dirty.
Hike it up.
So yeah, we usually run an intro, but I didn't want to bore everybody. But so we got PINETREE Line Productions on with us tonight.
Yes, we do.
Should I say formerly known as PINETREE Line Outdoors, or just did it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's done.
So it should be good. And if you've got any questions out there, I see we've got some people on now. So if you've got any questions on there, sure, bring them on, and we will
read your questions
Sure,
live
there.
on the air, and
Yeah.
we'll see if the boys from PINETREE can answer them.
Like a trivia. So I'm just going to shift a couple things around here. I feel like we're missing somebody. No. Yeah, we're missing. Where's Doug?
Doug's
We're missing
gone.
Doug. Doug's gone. All right.
Yeah, and
We'll get
listen,
'em back.
if I disappear too, just watch for me because I'm having problems with my audio. It disappears.
Right.
And the only way to reset it is go out and come back in. So
Here's Douglas.
if I do this, you know what I'm gonna do.
Sorry, boys. I had to leave for a second there. I couldn't hear anything. It's breaking up.
See, I have the
Oh,
same
really?
problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Good
great.
now.
So are you saying I should pay my Rogers bill?
Well,
I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a knot in your cord somewhere or something.
You know what? Speaking of which, when I got my vasectomy, that was the whole problem. It went from a 15-minute routine to like 3 hours because I got a
Nice.
knot in my cord.
Wow.
So Derek out there says, "What is PINETREE Line?" Doug, I'll let you take that one.
the PINETREE Line was a series of radar bases that crossed the country, and the old, Cold War stuff where they were checking out for Russians maybe coming from up north. So it was a collaborative effort between the Canadian military and the U.S. military, and we had a PINETREE Line base right here in Sudbury, Canadian Forces Station Falconbridge. So that's why I named the channel after that.
Wow.
Now,
Excellent.
was that one up in Sudbury up on Radar Road?
Exactly.
So that was all part of North Warning, like D&D, The Rock, and all that stuff. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Unfortunately, they tore it down and before I could get there to film it. But anyways, that's where the name comes from.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's really cool. I honestly, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's something we need to do before we get too heavily into the show because our fans are waiting and I'm waiting. I need George to play the tune for us. You know what tune that is, right?
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. That's our drinking song.
So mine's Flying Monkey Juicy Ass IPA right here. Right here.
Atta boy.
Wow. Good job.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Jamie's
you
been
got-
busy.
you got started already?
Jamie got
It started. It never ended.
I know. Me too. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Atta boy.
Atta boy.
okay.
And in
so-
case they don't last, we got one of these.
Nice.
There you go. I have the same glasses. They're great. They're great for scotch if you drink scotch.
Yeah.
I put iced tea in mine. I don't put scotch in it.
Only wimps put ice in it. Come on.
So Bobby says, "Cheers." Bobby, you got a beer there, bud?
I hope he does. Cheers, Bobby.
Right. So so George has got some questions. He's kind of prepped because George is a bit of a city slicker, and whereas Heiko and I are more probably outdoorsy, but not as outdoorsy as you guys are. Like right now, Jamie lives like 40, 50 miles in the back of north of Capriol or back at Chelmsford in BC kind of thing.
Wow.
No, I'm out on Little Panage. We moved here in September, and actually, I'm in our sauna down by the lake shore.
Oh, that's your sauna?
Yeah, this is a sauna. Yeah, this is just the waiting room, and the sauna is just around the corner. Yeah.
So you have better internet connection in the sauna?
Yeah. Well, we got one of those. When it comes to techie shit, I have people helping me because I can't do that. But I'll take you for a quick little tour here if you can stay with me for a second there.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I walked into this. If you can see this here behind me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still here, and then this is the sauna here that we're in right now.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So it's just a cedar sauna.
Yeah.
And you can see that. But yeah, so that's a little tour of the sauna right there. And this is just the waiting room there.
You're not going to start drinking and stuff and get a little tipsy and take your clothes off and go sit in the sauna and do the show live from there, are you?
Well, it's funny because, yeah. Well, Doug actually contacted me about a couple hours ago when I was actually sitting in the sauna having a beer, and he's like, you want to do a live show tonight? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. I just got to finish up a few beers and then I'll be right with you.
See, I couldn't hit him up too early. He would have been drinking all day.
Yeah.
So are you guys like, what's Sudbury like? Are you guys on lockdown or anything like that?
Yeah, we're locked down. We curbside pickups only, and
Right.
Other than that, though, like we're pretty much still getting out in the woods and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't encounter too many people, so
yeah, nothing's really changed out here. Like, I mean, I still go to work just like Doug does every day. And like, I mean, we're out here, we're kind of away from it all in the city, so we do our thing, and we're conscious of where we are and who we're with. That's all.
Yeah.
Nice.
The one thing I like is the liquor store hasn't changed.
Not at
The
all.
liquor store, beer store is always open.
It's perfect.
All the necessities, right?
The Canadians have their priorities right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And get your smokes in Port Severn.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet originally? I mean, did you meet, were you both out in the woods and met camping, or when did you guys actually first get together?
Well, I'll try to make a long story short, George, but basically I knew Jamie's wife before he did. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, whoa, hey now.
actually, his wife was is a receptionist and what was her? She's an assistant, dental assistant at my dentist. So I met her about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and subsequently our kids started playing baseball together, and that's Jamie and I. We hit it off right away. We had we go to a tournament, have a few pops there, wobbly pops, and we're best friends. So yeah, so that's kind of our. Sorry,
you were already into the outdoors when you met.
We were actually
already.
To be honest with you, we're both heavy into our kids' sports, so the outdoors took a backseat to everything. So it wasn't until after they were kind of older and doing their own thing that started shifting gears a little bit. So I started the channel on my own for about a year, and then Jamie came aboard, and as they say, the rest is history.
So what year was that? Would you say you started?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard a rumor that you guys just went camping, and the way you guys met is you woke up in the same tent one morning.
Oh, that.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that part.
So that's how Doug and I met.
Stumbled into your
Hey,
tent.
it was cold.
Yeah. Let's not go any
Yeah.
further. We'll get in trouble.
Talking of tents. I wanted the video. I was fascinated. Was the teepee? What did you make that out of? The teepee.
That was out of actually that's a vinyl tarp we bought, at a local kind of hardware store deal, and yeah, Jamie and I just we put that together, trial and error, and it worked out pretty good until Jamie got rained on in the middle of the night.
Oh man,
Oh,
Ah,
that was freaking terrible.
But
Yeah,
you know,
I woke. So like the one side of the TP caved in, and of course it was on my side where I was sleeping on the ground, and I woke up and I was just soaking wet. My sleeping bag, everything, all my clothes was soaking wet, and of course I get up. Doug's out cold. He's snoring up a storm. He's sleeping. He's warm over his side, eh? So
Oh, yeah.
I was like, well, I have to get out of this, and I have to get close to the fire so I can, because I was catching a chill. And then for the rest of the night, I just sat in a chair in front of the fireplace, and I just kept feeding the fire, just keep feeding the wood, and that was
It was
it.
perfect.
It just dried up. Yeah, and he wakes up. He's like, oh man, that was a great night, and I'm like, not so much.
well, you know what? The experience was fun, and we learned a lot. And eventually, we want to get out and either build another teepee or another shelter of some kind.
Yeah.
So like
Very nice.
when something like that happens, like you just said, you got rained on and you're cold. Do you ever at that point go, crap, I just want to go home to my own bed, or is it all part of the experience? How do you look at it?
I know, speaking for myself, I look at it as that's the adventure part. Like if everything goes perfect, there's no real adventure there. So, I mean, that's the stuff we're talking about today is the stuff that goes wrong or goes sideways on you, and
yeah.
something always does, or you forget something or whatever.
You have that storm rolls through, or something bad happens. Those are always the stories you get to talk about after.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. So
when you're in the outdoors, you're always going to get a curveball coming at you, and you got to be prepared. And that's what makes you good in the outdoors, is that you're ready for that curveball coming at you, and it's how you prepared ahead of time that makes you go through that. So it's all about the outdoors.
Yeah. For our fans, our listeners, why don't one of you guys tell them where they can find your site and where you guys are located on the internet?
Right down below on the ticker.
Oh, you got it going down there?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So if you go to YouTube and you type in PINETREE Line Productions, you'll find us. And but we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a website as well, which is down below as well. So yeah, if any one of those forms will bring you to the videos, and that's our main shtick. The rest of it, the rest of the social media is more for fun and entertainment kind of thing.
Okay. Nice. John says typically it rains when you camp. He's a big camper too, and it happens.
I gotta tell you something, John. We had a pretty good run going, Jamie and I, for not getting any rain, and then it just all changed more recently. Now every time we go, it rains. So,
geez,
we feel your pain.
Yeah.
So you guys do some really cool footage using drones. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
anybody into the outdoors, you got to check out their site. They got some great stuff on there.
Yeah, it's a whole different perspective when you can throw the drone up and you just see things completely different than you would at using a camera at any angle. Doesn't give you that same look that the drone does. So
right.
We've incorporated that into the videos as much as we can, and I think it's a nice touch. I try not to overuse it, because some trips, it's just overkill, and I don't want to do that either. I want to keep people interested, so.
Well,
it is a game changer.
It could be a cool tool as well. Like if you guys really truly get lost, you pick the drone up and find out where you parked the car, right?
Well, it's actually we were actually looking. We have a video of an abandoned fire tower that we were looking for, and we're on this trail and we weren't sure we're even in the right area. And Jamie actually said, "Hey, throw up the drone and see where we're at." And as soon as we got it up, we could see where the tower was. We knew we were on the right track and stuff like that.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
cool.
it was really helpful.
I saw
Well,
that
it's
episode,
amazing.
actually.
It's amazing though when you go in the outdoors how often people get turned around and get lost. And
Yeah.
you know, if you don't have a compass, or you don't have that, you know, you overcast day, you don't know where the sun's at. You
Yep.
throw that drone up in the air and you do a 360, and it gives you a bird's eye view. And that's what saved us that day for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's happened to
So,
you
like,
before too.
obviously-
Just oh, sorry, George. Go ahead.
Obviously, there's no in certain places you go. There won't be any signal like for cell phones. So, like, how would you communicate if something, you know,
It
if you
only
had an emergency?
you only need in terms of communicating if something were to go wrong, or for the drone itself.
Yeah, if you had an accident, you fell over and broke your ankle or something like that. You know.
That's a tough call. I mean, we don't have a safety beacon or an inReach or a thing like that. We've talked about maybe getting something like that, but what we try to do is one thing, we're together, so it's at least two of us, if we invite somebody else on the trip. So that allows, if one person goes down, someone can go get help. Because we are it doesn't take much around here to get in a place where there's no cell service. The other thing is we're sure to tell people, loved ones, where we are and when we expect to be back.
Right.
And that's every time out, because if you don't specify those things and you get hurt in the first hour of your trip, man, it's a long haul waiting for help to arrive, right? So we do that.
George, in your case as a city slicker, eventually you would probably just give up, right? So spackle yourself with barbecue sauce, get naked, spackle yourself with barbecue sauce, and wait for the next bear or moose and rutting season, right? So
that's all I need, a bear.
Well, that happened to us when we went to Espatina, because we thought of that and we talked about it afterwards, Doug. Is that when I had a little incident and I fell and I twisted up my knee pretty bad, we didn't have any cell phone service. We had no connection with the outside world at all. So we had to hike her back, and then it was a while before we got. And we talked about it afterwards, saying, if that was really severe, we would have been really screwed.
Yeah. That trip, we were like 100 kilometers from cell service. So
wow.
that was taking a chance. And ultimately, I think if we're gonna plan another big trip like that, Ishmatina Ridge, guys, is the highest point in Ontario. It's 60 meters higher above sea level than the CN Tower, just to give you an idea. So, we went up there and we conquered it, but not without the adventure part where Jamie twisted his leg, and we had some bad weather too and stuff like that. But it was a gratifying trip.
So whereabouts is that?
It's literally about 120 kilometers north of Cape Royal, which is just outside of Sudbury. So it's actually in the Sudbury district. It's within the Lady Evelyn Smoothwater Provincial Park. So if you look it up on a map, so that's kind of a neat accomplishment for a couple of old guys and an old chick that came with us too.
Nice.
So typically, like, how long is the trip? Like, how many days, or on average?
It all depends how much time we have, but because of the lockdown and the COVID stuff and work schedules and stuff like that, a lot of times we're just doing one-nighters. So we'll try to fit in as much as we can. But if we'll go longer, obviously, if we have the ability to do that. But sometimes working with only a couple days off, we have to bust it and make it quick. But we get everything in that we need to get in, and we enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Have you ever got to wherever you're going, however many kilometers it is for where you've parked up the vehicle, and you open up your bag or whatever, and you found you've left something essential back at home or wherever? Have you ever done that?
That's happened. Yeah? But actually, I think Jamie bailed me out with a sleeping pad one time. That might have been at Ishpatina, but that's another adventure part. That's where you're going to be doing without, or you hope whoever's with you has it. The worst part is if you go solo and you don't have something. You're screwed. You're dealing with it. Either way you're doing it.
Yeah, but
Actually,
you're
a couple of
you're
years
going to
ago,
expect
I
this.
rolled up at a gig and I forgot to bring my speakers. So
Oh, that was
seems
kind of important.
That would suck.
true. Luckily, it was fairly local, so I could go home and get them again. But yeah.
Okay, I have to ask something here because Warren
Oh,
just put up in his little logo. He's got Dub C MRE. So
Listen,
George,
you got.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. No, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something about. I know Warren. He's a YouTuber, fellow YouTuber from the great state of Michigan, and this guy's got some awesome videos. Also in the outdoors, and loves the MREs as much as I do. So before you start knocking MREs, there, Ringo, you better be careful.
No, I'm not knocking them at all. Actually, on my airsoft ops and stuff, I use MREs all the time with the boil bags and everything. Right, love them. Actually, they're so tasty.
Right
But
on.
watching you eat one that's 20 years old, that was a whole different experience.
Hey,
however, I
It
mean,
was
So-
29 years old.
There's
Well,
a lot of people out there listening or watching right now that don't know what MRE means. Could somebody explain that?
It's a good point. It's a meal ready to eat, used mostly by people in the military. All countries have different meals. They're called
Yeah.
rations. And
So that's like those little packages and stuff, right? All sealed up.
all sealed up, and they last. Well, Jamie and I had one that was 29 years old. So I mean,
Jamie's got one right there with the Canadian flag on it.
there was only one thing that went. There's only one thing that went bad, and that was the M&Ms. Hey, James.
Oh fuck, that was horrible.
Yeah. I watched that episode. They were all chalky and stuff, right? And the look
man.
on Jamie's face was like,
yeah, there was a shit ton of whiskey to get rid of that taste for a long time.
I bet.
Uh-huh.
So what is it that keeps the food, with its flavor or its taste? What is it? If you get a slice of bread that's 30 years old, say what's,
it's how the bread is made first of all, but it's how it's packaged. It's in that Mylar packaging, which it's vacuum sealed, prevents air from getting in it and light getting at it.
Sorry, I was reading the ticker.
With George shit the bush. I don't know. We're gonna have to test that theory. We'll have to get George out and do a.
I'll tell you, Doug could give you a demo because he does it every time.
Listen.
Well, I was going to say, what do you guys have? A portable shitter you take it with you, or what? Like,
everywhere's the portable shitter. You just drop and go, man.
Best thing.
I actually hold it until I get home. Doug, as soon as we get in the bush, Doug's like looking around. He's like, I got to go for a shit.
Well, a lot of the military grade MREs actually, and maybe Warren, you can attest to this, is in the military grade ones, they actually have this, kind of, they're kind of medicated with this stuff that delays you, like almost like not a Metamucil, but the other stuff there. So you don't go for a crap because nobody wants to be on the battlefield and, have to go.
Right.
But
my experience is that they make you go.
I don't know.
it's kind of like eating McDonald's, right? You eat it,
exactly.
you got to go.
Yeah.
My preference is a fallen log, like a tree that's kind of broken that'll carry your weight.
Idea.
And you just hike your butt over that. If you don't want to squat, the old fashioned way is just, squat it and maybe hang on to a tree, like you're doing, like, maybe you're a dancer. Okay. So George, imagine you're a dancer at a strip club and you grab the brass ring, right?
You're all the time.
You're right on that downswing.
Yeah.
And you're
Can I
close,
say,
and then you
can I
let her
just say here at this point, that in answer to Cliff's question on what we're getting onto here, that I jog a few kilometers most days. And believe you me, sometimes when you're out in the woods or on a trail somewhere and you're nowhere near home, you go in the bush. So I'm quite familiar with that.
Yeah,
Attaboy, George.
Yep.
Attaboy, you can come camping with us.
But
See, and what I always did
All set,
when you go camping with guys out in the bush where there are no toilets or porta potties, for fun, I put a toilet seat in my luggage one time, and then I whipped it out and I said, "Come on, boys!
but hang on
Just
a
find
second.
some rocks or a log, put your toilet seat down, you're good to go."
Bam.
So in the pre-show, we were chatting with Doug, and he was saying, "Hey, the urban jungle is kind of like the outdoors." And right now with COVID, not to bring it to that subject, but try and go for a dump anywhere
No
everything's
kidding.
closed. The coffee shops won't let you use it, right?
That's
Lockdown.
right.
So, but
You'll see a lot more people stopping on the side of the road now and going to the bathroom.
I got a chum bucket right in my F-150, and I'm willing to charge $20 for you to use it, right? But and you get a free coffee. But
can I say something here? Speaking of not shitting in the woods, Mr. Jamie, we went ice fishing, and he made. Hey, Julia, that's my daughter right there.
Julia, hey,
Jules.
So, anyways, I brought a bucket because we're ice fishing. We're in the middle of the lake. I'm not gonna shit on the lake. So I brought the bucket. Line it with a bag.
Fish do.
Yep.
Sit on the bucket. Close the bag up after. It's all good, right? Well,
it's all good.
Mr. Jamie making fun of me. Guess who the next morning was sitting on my pail having a shit? I wait till I get home. He couldn't wait this time. So he's not innocent.
It was the chili.
Yeah, you're chilly.
Yeah.
Well, that'll teach you eating chili while you're ice fishing. Come on, who does that?
Yeah, that was a bad idea. That was his idea.
Yeah.
Was it 25-year-old chili?
How you doing, Cliff? Nice to see you, buddy.
Oh, right on. So I'm always worried about that. I haven't had to. Oh, you're bringing that out, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question. Have you ever had, after having a couple of whiskeys or something like that, you go back in the bush, you're gonna have a dump in the bush, and you do it, and then you look down and you've got no Henry bar in your underwear. Like, is that
never?
You ever had accidents like that?
Never happened. Never happened to me. No,
never.
I don't care. No. I don't care how drunk I am. I'm particularly careful of not shitting myself.
I never had that problem because when I'm in the bush, I'm usually naked anyway. So all good.
Oh. All right, George. Let's do one of your trivias there, George.
Well, it's the lovely backside of an album, a vinyl album.
So you boys too, if you can guess this, go for it.
It's from 1983.
Wow, that's kind of bizarre. It looks like people and like dotted lines from a highway. It's kind of weird.
And there's a campfire fire in a bucket.
Yeah.
Look at
cover that up, George.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh. Okay, we'll leave that. See if Derek can figure that one. He's been slipping recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Is that your?
Yeah.
Derek's been lagging a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll break around.
So fans out there, people that are listening and watching, if you have any questions for the boys, please send them to us on Facebook. We'll put them up on the screen and they'll answer them.
Yeah, we've got a long line of comments here I got to get back to, but a word from our sponsor. Love that. It's to the point.
Oh my God, that line that's scrolling across the screen now, that reminds me of what I do a lot of times. I'll go to a restaurant, the waitress comes up, "Would you like some water, sir?" And I just go, "No, fish fucking it." And it's funny when you say that, you say it loud enough, and all the people around on the nearby tables, no one drinks their water. It's just weird.
So Cliffy's asking if your grade school snow trips at St. Pat's did it start your career in this?
You know what, Cliff? Those were very meaningful trips. We also, I think we cross country skied as well.
Yeah.
And I actually went back to that area to see if I could do a little video back there and take that same trip. But I got a surprise that it's all full of houses now. It's all around Whitewater Lake's loaded with houses. So
that's terrible.
But that definitely made a difference.
Georgie, Derek needs a hint. on your album backside?
A hint.
A hint. He wants a hint. He never asks for hints.
Derek,
He's
what
never
makes
asked for a
it
hint
special?
before. It's a solo artist, huge, male,
Huge.
Male?
Oh,
from Britain.
Kathy's saying Dire Straits.
Where's that? Rick Ashley?
No, it's pretty.
Is it Aha?
1983. 1983.
83.
Oh, so definitely not Dire Straits, right?
Not Dire Straits, no.
All
No,
right.
solo
What about
act.
Bowie? Okay, so Derek's guessing.
He's saying Bowie.
I think Derek's into the
Is-
Chronic. Bowie? Is
David
it Bowie?
Is it Bowie or is it Bowie, as we say? All right.
Wow. Nice
Is it
job,
David
Derek.
Bowie?
All right, Derek.
It is.
Yeah.
Reigning champion. Oh, wow.
What did you get?
Dance album.
Wow.
Serious Moonlight.
What does Derek win?
What did you win?
Another Motor
He gets-
City Maniacs t-shirt. I
He
guess.
gets to listen to our next show.
T-shirt. Michael.
Okay. He's allowed to keep listening.
We're not going to cut him off.
Actually, you know what?
Talking to
I
him.
think I'm gonna buy some Pine Tree merch, and we'll shoot Derek a hat or something.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
So, Kathy was thinking Power Station, but that was in '84.
That's actually a good guess.
That was a great band.
Yeah.
Great band.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Bang
gonna
and
come up
Gong.
in a few
Remember
weeks'
that,
time,
boy?
one.
Jamie, I thought you
Remember
didn't. I thought you didn't listen to anything but Rat.
What?
Jamie,
There's a question for you,
Oh.
guys. When you actually go out camping on any trips, you take any music with you?
yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, it
Go ahead,
depends.
Doug.
If we have to listen to Jamie's stuff on his phone, it's pretty much Rat. That's about it.
Rat?
So
Rat.
so after I get a few drinks in me, I like to hit the Rat, man. It's just like
Oh, Rat, not like rap kind of thing.
No,
right?
Rat.
so Rat.
Like, you know.
Oh,
I'm
Out
back
of the
for
cellar.
more. Yeah.
round and round,
Yeah.
Yeah.
round and
So,
round.
so I try to.
I'm
I try to slip in some Slipknot and some more modern stuff that I like, and he just doesn't have it. He doesn't want to hear it.
I can see you guys out in the bush with your cell phones having music duels.
Yeah, whoever's got the bigger. Never mind.
Yeah.
Next question.
Speaker.
So, Doug, my next question is: how far north have you went in? Best fish that you guys caught?
Jamie and I headed up to Woodland Caribou Provincial Park, which is about 28-hour drive northwest up in Red Lake. So that's our longest trip by far. And fish, I suck at fishing. Ask Jamie what the best fish he caught is, because I'm terrible. I catch like little pike and bass, but that's about it. Jamie, what about you?
I've caught several. Like, it depends on what kind of species you're talking about as far as fish goes, because, like, I mean, if you catch a 6-pound smallmouth, that's considered a big fish. But
Yes, it is.
as far as weight goes, 34-pound Chinook out of Province Bay, Manitoba.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
George,
That must have been a fight.
Yeah, I caught that. I was 12 years old when I caught that.
nice.
Yeah, my father and I do a lot of fishing now because it's something that I grew up with my father, and he taught me a lot of what he did as a fisherman. And I'm yeah. Anyways,
My dad caught a 14-pound snot rocket on Whitewater Lake, right? Was it actually in northern, so it wasn't a grass pike, but
Well, there's a question from Cliff there. Throw that
Yeah,
out
what's-
there.
Jamie, what is Doug's biggest blunder? Oh boy.
I could tell you what it is. I could tell you what it is.
let's specify in the outdoors or the indoors. I would say, what's your biggest blunder outdoors, Doug? I gotta say, I was a little nervous when you got in that canoe and there was like a little sheet of ice little sheet of ice on there, and it's like, oh man, he's gonna roll it. But you got in and you start crunching through the ice, and I'm like, holy smokes! I mean, if you fall in there, it's hypothermia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did fall this summer. I had one dunk, but it was nice and warm. It was like a 30-degree day.
Wow.
My biggest blunder as far as YouTube goes, or since I've had the channel, is when I went to the prison. I got a lot of bad feedback from the owner of the prison, who wasn't happy that I filmed the production without permission. So.
Oh really? What did they?
Yeah. It was a little financial settlement, smooth things over.
Doug was like,
Really?
I said little. Yeah. He wasn't too happy that we didn't get any permission to go.
So, wasn't that owned by D&D for a while, and they were doing military exercises there for a bit? And...
they own the property surrounding it, but they don't own that piece of property.
So okay, that makes sense, because they were using they had blast targets or whatever for big guns, and then
they still have that there.
Yeah, they do. So in the actual pen part, so that's owned privately now.
Yeah, it has been for many years, and this one gentleman has owned it for quite a while, and he doesn't like people visiting, and he didn't like the fact that I did and put it out on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. So
Doug bought him a Tim's card, and it was all good.
I was gonna say, like, it wouldn't have been much of a financial settlement if they knew how many times, like, allegedly. I know a friend of a friend who used to play like paintball up there, and fun fact, and I was telling Doug off the air, I actually spent 5 days in the Burwash Penitentiary when it was operational. So
Nice.
I mean, I walked out a little bow-legged, but other than that, I wasn't worse for wear, So, but it was after they closed it, but they couldn't completely close it because they weren't sure what they were going to do with it. So I guess the city or whoever, the province, maintained it, and the facility was like spick and span. Everything was operational. I was in air cadets, and we used it to train for a big parade thing. But we slept in the cells, and we were all young kids, and I don't know if that was so smart, but definitely didn't want to find myself in prison after that. And there's a lower level that they have these, like, I don't know if they were solitary or whatever, but
that's the dungeon.
No, I was definitely solitary or something, for the lessons learned.
See, Doug, you should have just told the guy, stop being such a girl about it. We're just filming, right?
Yeah, I don't know why he thought it was such
promotional.
a big
Come
deal,
on.
but yeah, you know what? And I said that. I thought that doing the video would encourage less people to go there, because they would actually get a good view of it. Because I did a lengthy video on it, like even had the drone flying and the whole bit. But anyways, he thought differently, that it would actually attract more people. The funny thing is that on his Facebook page, his personal one, his banner is my drone footage from my video.
Oh God, really?
Go figure. He should be paying me for that.
Exactly. Oh well. Okay, so question in from Pine Line.
Well, I'm getting some audio issues here, boys.
Question for Jamie: what's the oldest food you've ever eaten?
It was definitely the MRE that Doug brought out that day. We did a YouTube video. Everything was good except for the M&Ms. It was just like,
they were horrible.
It was so bad. It was just like, and you know what? I knew it too. As soon as I put them in my mouth, I was like, fuck, they taste like they got fur on them. And it was just so fucking bad.
Really?
As soon as I bit in, I looked at Doug and he looked at me, and I'm like, dude, those are fucking bad. And I threw them up. Like, you didn't even see this on camera, because I went into the bush and I was just literally throwing up. It was so bad. And he was laughing the whole. Doug's laughing and he's laughing, and I look up at him and I'm like still throwing up, and he's laughing away.
Well, if you watch the channel at all, you know that Jamie cooks these amazing meals. He's an incredible outdoors cook. and so he despises the fact that anybody eats these MREs. So
Yeah.
I had to make him try the worst possible one, the oldest one I had. So it was fun though.
Yeah.
So do people send MREs to you guys to try as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Warren, that was that commented earlier or whatever, he's actually sent me some MREs. Quite a few people. It's an amazing community of people that try these out on YouTube, and if you just dial up search MRE reviews, and you'll see this fantastic group of people that try stuff out, and they trade, and we send stuff to each other and stuff like that.
So, and then you receive one from somebody that's 25 years old or something, and then you guys go live on and try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be dishonorable not to.
So, have you ever had some that you tasted it and you go, "Oh my God, this is so freaking good"?
Actually,
you ever had that, or are they all kind of shitty?
No, I think they're all good.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love them. It's very rare that you find a component that's not good in them. I find they're all pretty good.
So what is it
Jamie
like?
Would disagree, but
is it like meat, potatoes, vegetables, and gravy type meal, or
it'd be like stuff like you'd get in a can, like Chef Boyardee type main food and stuff like that.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, it's not gourmet stuff, guys.
Why is Jamie laughing?
Hang on a second. Whoa.
Why is Jamie laughing?
If you're in the bush and you're stranded and you got nothing to eat but your underwear, you're gonna eat that shit, and you're gonna say, "Wow, this is great." It's not fucking good. Okay?
No,
you can't compare that to a fresh meal. You can't.
Well, that's why I bring you along.
Come on.
Jamie,
so it's like Jamie, a 25-year-old can of beans.
No, it's like a 6 month can old year old.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead, Rigo.
So Heiko, so Jamie goes out, and what's amazing, I love watching you kind of prep stuff, because they've got some clips where he's either at home kind of doing prep work and putting everything in Ziploc bags and everything, and then he comes out with his that fryer or that stove thing, fryer thing that you guys got, the
Blackstone.
The Blackstone. Yeah, man, those are expensive, but anyways, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. So he brings it up. So it's funny because I watched Doug, and when I was growing up, I honestly, Doug, you kind of surprised me, because I really never struck you as that much of an outdoors guy, but except the snowshoe thing that Cliffy was talking about, like kind of almost in your backyard down the street,
right?
And some kid all day long saying camping tonight. Anyway, so Jamie will be doing these friggin' gourmet meals, right? So he's got all the onions chopped up, he's got all pre-done, right? So it's kind of it's almost like glamping, right? But I'm telling you, when you go out, if you do that kind of preparation, it's really awesome, right? Because you can have great outdoor meals. And and then you did chicken wings that time, and then you're kind of like, could use this, could use that. But MREs, I gotta agree with Doug. I love MREs because it's like I could be out on the battlefield and just stop what I'm doing.
That's gonna happen anytime soon.
I play airsoft ops. Like,
there you go.
Right? So they're like 24-hour games. Like, you're out there live. So here you're trying to do your MRE with your boil bag and getting shot at potentially. So, but they're tasty. I've never had like 30-year-old ones. I think the life expectancy is generally 5 years on the ones that are put out now by different companies. But
it's 3 to 5 years. But I mean, they last if they're stored properly. They'll last a long time. And if you're hungry, even Jamie, if he was hungry,
you'd have to be pretty fucking hungry.
He'd love it too. And Ringo, to address your other thing about when we grew up, when I was going to during the summers, I was going to camp with my grandparents, and that's where I fell in love with the outdoors.
Yeah.
So I'd be fishing and camping and hiking and doing all that kind of stuff.
Did you catch any fish back then, Doug?
Yeah, I was much better back then. I don't know. I lost it. I lost it. I'm cursed. I told you I'm cursed.
Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised and impressed when you're out there, because one of the things that a couple of big takeaways from your show is that the drone footage, by the way, you couldn't, in my opinion, you couldn't have enough of it, right?
Okay.
Because it takes the focus off of you guys who got faces for radio. But
you got that right.
No, honestly, no, you guys are. It's awesome. It's awesome because honestly, I watch these drone videos, Doug, and they're so effing good that like sometimes I'll listen to Michael Seeley on YouTube who does like sleep meditation and stuff, and I'm like, Jesus, if you took Pine Tree Line drone videos, you'd be honest something, right? Put some nice like music behind it. But you guys, no, the drone footage is phenomenal. And I always go over your drone footage over and over to see if I can find Bigfoot, right? Like, yeah.
Any luck?
I don't know.
And all you found was Elvis, right?
That was the one thing I wanted to ask you. Have you ever run into anything weird in your night excursions or even during the day that would suggest some cryptozoology, like Bigfoot or
something unexplained?
Are you gonna go, Doug? Or you want me to?
No, you go ahead, James. If you got something in mind there.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Only a few people know about this, but so I was heading to Fairbanks.
Oh, okay. He's coming out. He's coming with a good. Oh, we have and we have a more recent story. Go ahead, James.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll let you tell that one, Doug. Okay, I'll let you tell that one. I'll tell the other one. So, anyways, I was heading to Fairbanks with a friend of mine. We were going fishing.
Yeah.
It was really, really early in the morning. It was about 4:35ish, and it was still dark out. And we were driving, and we were almost at Fairbanks Lake near the provincial park. And we were talking and driving, having our coffee. And out of nowhere, this green light comes shooting right past my truck.
Wow.
Lit up the whole sky. I slammed on the brakes. I looked at him. And I don't know whether it was a meteor or what it was, but it looked like it came down right on the lake. And we stopped and we looked and we're like, holy shit, that landed on Fairbanks Lake. So we took off. We headed down the lake. Didn't see anything. And we're like, okay, were we high or did we just see that? Like, I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I mean, it's still today it freaks me out. But Doug's going to tell you a story that it freaks me out just as much. Go ahead, Doug.
Well, it's probably because we had a few drinks in us, but we were doing some truck tent camping down Yami Lake Road, and we were just it was a beautiful night, clear skies, lots of stars, and we're just like looking at the stars kind of thing. And this one object, super high in the sky, like, I mean, up in the stars, but you could see the different colored lights, and it flew across the sky at such an unbelievable speed. We were like, what the hell was that? Like, so some people I've told the story to say, well, maybe it was like the space station or something like that. Like, but this thing was clipping like big time.
Yep.
And
what was really weird about it, Doug, is we saw the flashing lights because it looked like an airplane. Yeah. But we seen a lot of airplanes that night that were flying by, and they're like, taking their time, flashing lights. You see the airplanes all the time. This sucker flew across the whole skyline. I never seen anything travel that fast in the air. Like Doug, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was cool. So rather than seeing like Bigfoot or any kind of crazy animal stuff or hearing anything, no. But I mean, in the middle of the night when you're sleeping and a beaver flaps its tail against the water, it sounds like someone just threw a 2-ton rock in the water. Like
Bigfoot getting your Well, honestly, so you guys basically just confirmed the possible presence of Bigfoot, but certainly UFOs, right? So one of our Heikadelic show reporters was out recently, and I'll give that a little run.
Hey, this is Spiffy Vengeance, and I'm reporting for the Heikadelic show. In behind me, you can see the War of the Worlds going on as we speak. It's amazing. It's a light show. It's over the Pickering Darlington nuke plant, but we're not sure what's going on. We think it's aliens, because if you watch, we've been watching this for almost an hour now, and the light show is incredible. What we thought was just a storm appears to be possibly alien invading the Durham region. This is Stiffy Vengeance, and I am going to try and stay awake and watch the show behind me, and hopefully I won't get probed. See you on the Heikadelic.
Are you watching the Heikadelic show? Because I am. Those guys from PINETREE Line Outdoors, they're not bad characters. They don't make a lot of noise in the bush, and they clean up after themselves. Actually, they're pretty good-looking dudes, especially around rutting season. I've seen them out there a few times, but couldn't really chase them down. So stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the show.
Man, it's a good thing we're up north and not in the Durham region.
The fucking haircut on that girl was like I've seen that haircut before.
Yeah, I'm dating her. I was anyway, but not anymore. So, but that clip though is legit. There was this massive lightning storm during the summer, and I was at, we call it the Ringo Ranch, and we were doing a campfire thing, and it was just unbelievable. I hadn't seen anything like it, so I couldn't resist, and we had to do that report. But again, considering that UFOs do exist in the presence, possible aliens out there. So Heiko, Kathy's saying that looks like a butt. Oh, I guess when you put your hand up to move your camera, it looks like your ass is out there. Yeah.
Oh. Something like like a butt crack.
Yeah, your palm does look like. Show that again. It looks like a plumber's butt. You should put a little. Yeah, center it. Bring it up. There you go. Bring it down. There you go. Right there. I get it. I totally get that.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
It's something weird because my earphones stopped working and now it's just coming through my phone. So I don't know, something spooky going on.
So Cliffy's got so Rob Hayes has a question for Doug. Have you ever eaten an MRE in a mall food court?
Can you ban this Rob Hayes guy from the channel? Because he's infiltrating. He's an imposter.
He's a bad guy?
That guy's nothing but trouble.
He's trouble. Actually, Rob's part of the PINETREE Line team. Actually, he's been bugging me to do a video eating one of these MREs in a food court.
Shit, I just banned him.
If I could find,
I was only kidding.
If I could find one guy that could fish worse than Doug, it'd be Rob Hayes.
His kids are good though.
His kids are better than him.
Yeah, absolutely.
More potential.
Rob Hayes won't even sleep in his backyard. This guy's afraid. He's very afraid. Yeah.
Hey George, can you play a tune for me? Can you play a tune?
Yeah.
I'll play some Rat.
Song.
Can you play some Rat?
No. This is our drinking song.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think Jamie's got a beer. Oh no, okay.
Were we supposed to wait to drink?
Yeah.
No.
Kidding.
No.
It's
Oh, no,
about
don't
as
do
good as
that.
You're gonna lose out.
What do you got in there, Jamie? You've got this glorious Canadian mug, but what are you actually drinking?
It's got probably a Canadian in it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
I don't hit. I got a rule. I don't hit the rye until at least 11.
Right on.
Okay. All right.
So,
We're good with that.
George, do you have another trivia question?
Are you ready for the more or less challenge?
Yeah.
The more or less.
Is a real city slicker, right? We just okay. Bigfoot is real. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Well, at the moment, just to fill the guys in there, anybody else that's wondering, we've had 4 rounds, 4 weeks now, and Heiko is winning 4-2 at the moment.
Wow.
4 points. In fact,
Killing
Heiko has got he's got them all right. So let's see what's up my sleeve. And here's the sleeve, and I think it's Heiko to pick first. All right, so Heiko goes first. So do you want the question on the A side or the question on the B side?
Let's go for A.
You went for A, okay. And this week we're talking about the best-selling guitars, 10 best-selling guitars in the world. Oh, right. And if I can read my own writing here, a replica 1950s Fender Stratocaster would cost you about $1,735 Canadian. Okay.
Okay.
That's a 50s replica. So it's $1,735 Canadian. Now, if you were to buy a Gibson 335 dot plainwood guitar, as used by the likes of Chuck Berry, Eric Clapton, and people like that, would you pay more or less than $1,735 Canadian for it?
Ooh. You would pay more.
You're going for more, okay?
Yeah.
So Ringo gets the B side.
I can answer. Okay.
Can we all answer that, or?
Yeah, actually,
What?
Jamie's going to
Well, let's
answer.
see. You might know it. You might know the answer.
Yeah.
As a musician, you might actually know the answer to this.
Johnny needs
You've got a
help
50
usually.
chance.
I'm gonna say it's less.
All right. So, all right. This time, one of the top 10 selling guitars is a Rickenbacker 360 12 string. Would set you back just over $2,000 Canadian, 2,071.
Right.
Now, if you were to buy an Epiphone 53 Flying V guitar, would you be paying more or less than $2,071 for it? It'd be an Epiphone 58 Flying V.
Okay, so you would pay less because if
Would it be less?
it would be less unless it was an actual Flying V. So you'd be paying less because the Rickenbacker is a Rickenbacker. It's a Ricky, so it's going to be a lot more. And over to the fun fact about the Heiko question is: do you know what a 335 is?
No idea.
So that would be kind of like the Bigsby type of, like the semi-hollow body type of guitar, right? So.
Okay.
I just happen to have 3 of those in my little collection. So.
Yeah, it's you guys are guitar guys. I have no idea.
I've collected 34 guitars over the years.
Well,
wow.
Marketplace. They're going on Marketplace.
Right. I thought you might catch
MRE.
You're obsessed.
Yeah, I am.
Always have been.
Yes.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Heiko.
Yeah.
Heiko reckons you would pay more for the Gibson 335 than a 57 replica Fender Stratocaster. And he's correct. You'd pay around $3,850 for it.
Yeah.
So that must be American.
Heiko keeps this 100% record. And Ringo, you're correct too. The Epiphone 58 Flying V would only cost you $465.
Yeah, they're pieces of shit. So, and to boot, I got the voice of an angel, so it's pretty hard to. But the 335s are. Do you know?
Good job, Mr. Ringo. Good job.
Thank you. You can't put a.
Yeah.
Why can't I put my finger on your? Oh, there it is over there. But you. Yeah, the 335 is very unique because the size and everything you have to. And you know what the shitty part about it is? If you're not buying a brand name 335, you have to go and try and find a case for it, and it's very challenging. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good job. So now we're tied. So do we have a tiebreaker or do we?
No,
we're not tied.
No,
it's 5-3.
5-3. It's 5-3 after 5 rounds.
I'm still kicking your ass, buddy.
Nice try.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still in the game, so.
Yes, you are.
That's
Yes,
right.
you are.
So Jamie, are you a musician, or how come you know so much about guitars?
I used to play guitar.
Oh, cool.
What do you mean
Yeah,
you don't do it anymore?
So no, I unfortunately things got in the way.
Yeah.
So you're saying you brought your guitar into the bush and started playing, and the squirrels and beavers were attacking you.
Yeah. Actually, at a young age, I was very I played a lot of guitar when I was younger, and then as I got older, girls got involved.
Hey Jamie, why don't you tell the boys and the listeners where you used to work?
Oh boy.
Oh, do you want to really go there?
Oh, I think you should. I think this is a good time. You'll feel better after you tell them.
Why will I feel better?
Oh, I'll feel better.
So I used to.
No, because you have something in common with George.
Yeah, I used to work actually. I used to be a DJ as well. I used to be a DJ at
Solid Gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Solid Gold. I knew it. I had a regular table at Solid Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, for a few years I was a mainstay of making money downtown at the Colson and Solid Gold. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Nice.
when I threw up the example about the brass pole and crapping in the bush kind of thing to give George a visual, there you have it. So you would play. So then if
you guys start a band.
So if we bring George into the bush and he's got to take a crap, we'll find a nice big tree, skinny tree, that he can grab onto, and you can play music in the background. And our next act.
And you can hide behind a bush and be the voice of an angel.
Yeah,
That's right.
I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, James. I thought we should bring that up.
Yeah, no, that's a fun fact, Jamie.
Talking
Fun
about-
fact.
Yeah. Fun fact.
So
Here's a segue for you. A seamless transition. Talking of skinny trees, I know that in the opening videos that we showed there's that tall pine tree. Where is that? The tallest pine tree.
Oh, wow.
That's the biggest pine tree in Northern Ontario, Canada.
The tallest.
Yeah. How tall is that? I mean, what made it so big?
Well, it was man-made.
That's what she said.
Oh,
It's actually a cell phone tower that they. That's a new thing that they like to do is they dress up these cell phone towers. Yeah, they dress them up. So Jamie thought this was really interesting. So we went and investigated, and we were sadly disappointed to find out it wasn't real.
I'm all, hey Doug, you want to see the ugliest fucking tree you've ever seen? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I brought him out and I showed him. I'm like, it's a cell phone fucking tower. And the funniest thing was, 2 years ago, I went to the Bahamas and I found the same fucking one. So I took a picture of it with me standing beside it and I sent it to Doug and I'm like, hey, look, we got the same fucking tree in Bahamas.
Nice.
Yep.
So on your logo, on your logo for Pine Tree Line, though, where you've got all of the trees, I thought maybe you took the idea from that signal tower.
Actually, funny story about that. The 3 trees actually signify myself and my 2 kids. But actually, I had a company, a local lawn care company, that sent me a cease and desist order to stop using that logo because they felt it looked too much like theirs.
Really?
Yeah.
Come
honestly.
on.
3 trees. I mean, everybody has 3 trees. So big back and forth with these guys, and I'm not selling anything. I'm don't do lawn care. Like I barely cut my own grass. You know? So, anyways, it all ended peacefully, but just people are crazy, man.
Did you have to pay them off too, or
no? That didn't cost me anything.
A couple of coffee cards and a free laptop.
Doug's handing out to everybody.
There's a taxi company in Newfoundland. They have 4 trees.
Oh, there you go.
725 tree.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So if James is listening, I hope he checks out your website because he's kind of a new member of the family and he loves the outdoors and he goes on winter camping trips out in the bush and stuff like that. So
awesome.
I think a lot of people should watch your videos and check out your site because it's really cool.
Appreciate that, Michael. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, the footage and very surprising, Doug. It was, the fact that you're in the outdoors and I think what you like the takeaway from the channel is that if you watch enough of these, it's like, hey, I could go. It's getting people off the couch and out into the outdoors. It could be a day hike. It could be just for a few hours.
Yep.
But I think
Yep.
you give people a peace of mind that, hey, and if you know what, it doesn't have to be completely roughing it. You could be like Jamie and prepare gourmet meals and bring them out, with some decent cooking equipment, right? Like I use the old Coleman or with the hard way over the fire, but it doesn't have to be like that. So,
well, when I started the channel, Johnny, I did it basically to say that anybody at any age or skill set, or didn't matter what size you were or anything like that, you get out in the outdoors. And so Jamie and I, through working together, I've kind of bugged him a little bit about glamping a little bit too much. But I've come to I've come to realize that it just makes life a lot easier when he's pre-preparing some of this stuff. And I was on a trip with a couple of buddies of mine. Jamie wasn't there, and I actually brought some peppers, and I'm sitting there cutting them, and I'm going like, why the hell didn't I just cut these at home and put them in a Ziploc? You know what I mean? Hey, easy. So anyways, there's something to be said about, it's a fine line between camping and glamping, but as you get older, you want to make life a little bit easier for yourself. So you know what? I'm not going to make fun of anybody as long as you're getting off the couch and going to do it like Ringo said.
Exactly.
Well, you still love the camping aspect. You want to be out in the bush. You want to experience it, but you still want to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, we're not young anymore. Like sleeping on the ground isn't always fun. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Honestly, camping is camping. It doesn't matter who's doing what, like whether you're laying out in the middle of a snowbank, passed out, or whether you're sitting in a 40-foot toy hauler. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Camping is camping. Get out there. It's better than sitting at home doing nothing. Get out there and enjoy it.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what?
I've even done winter camping is kind of cool.
It's fun.
I had a little tiny shovel that kind of folds open. And you have to dig a hole in the snow to set your tent up, and then you put snow around it for insulation. I've done that kind of stuff. It's it's a cool experience, right?
Yeah, I enjoy winter camping in a lot of ways more than summer.
Me too.
It's fun.
You guys ever do the hot rock thing in your sleeping bag?
No, I haven't had to yet, but some nights I wish I had, but it was already too late. I was already frozen. But
I learned that too. Is you go to a creek or a riverbed and you chip through the ice and try and find a rock a decent size, like a bowling ball size, that's been in the water, and then you put it by your campfire so it heats up, and then you wrap it in a towel and put it in the bottom of your sleeping bag and put your feet on it.
Yeah,
and that will keep you warm almost the entire night. It's amazing.
The problem up here, Heiko, is you can't find the rocks after there's so much snow and ice. You're never gonna.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little like you could do it on the shoulder seasons, like in the fall or in the early spring, but past that in the winter, you're not gonna be able to do it. That's part of the reason why we haven't done it really.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. If you take those rocks and you stick them in your sleeping bag, all you're gonna do is freeze balls. That's all you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I was actually doing some overnight camping in early November into late November, and so it was just up in Barrie. I was doing an op up there, and it went below only like 2 degrees or -2, but it's so humid down here that it's uncomfortable, and so I found doing something that's very active like that sport, you got to do a lot of running and dodge getting shot at and all, but I just, my joints were killing me, right? So then when I went hunting, I've got one of those big cargo trailers, and we kept that kind of warm because it was snowing, and it was pretty cold. So but you're absolutely right, like you want to try and stay comfortable, but the idea of putting the rocks in, great idea. But
it worked, man.
Yeah, what you gotta, and I think Doug, you guys have said this on your show. You really, like, you had the episode where you tried to fit into the mummy sleeping bag, and it fit pretty well. But you want to get good stuff to keep you warm and safe. And then layering, you want to make sure you don't sweat, because if you sweat the cold, it's really hard to get dried
you're done.
up. Yeah, you're pretty much done. Yeah, it's like
people take it for granted, but I mean, hypothermia is a huge thing, and you got to be super careful of that, no matter what time of year, but especially obviously in the winter time. So yeah, you want to be layering up and layering down as you feel yourself starting to sweat.
Yeah, and you got to watch it. I guess when you exert yourself, you're going to get firewood or whatever, and it creeps up on you, and all of a sudden you've been sweating, and you got to dry everything out. It's not a good place to be. But and then your guy that does the survival stuff, he had some pretty interesting tips as well. He said, take a Ziploc bag and like maybe a 3-seal Ziploc, put some warm water in it, wrap it in a towel, and put it in your, wherever you're cold. Like Jamie was suggesting your nuts, but
well, the groin area,
the groin, you got to
groin area is one of the areas. Yeah,
armpit.
The groin area is the mummy maker right there.
Yeah. So having Bo Bone Shop on, like I was telling you before we started the show, I mean, he's a survival expert. He's been a survival advisor to Les Stroud, the Survivor Man. So this guy knows. He trains our top military guys to this day. He still trains them. This guy knows what he's talking about. So everything he suggests, I take very seriously, and it's good recommendations. So
Derek's saying he used to use a brick in his bed as a kid to stay warm, and you guys do it for fun. All the power to you. I like camping with hot running water. So Derek actually got a big piece of property as well, and I think, Derek, the bricks were there because somebody pitched them through your window. But
protection.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, cheers. So for Phil and Doug, Jamie and Doug,
Phil,
you guys have stuff sent to you and you guys try it out, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, for sure.
I have something here, and I want to know if I send it out to you guys, will you try it?
Well, it all depends what it is.
It's not an MRE, but it's sealed. I don't know. Here, I'll show you what it is. It's tortilla chips, haunted ghost peppers.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you think of that?
Jamie, I love those.
Jamie's got excited.
Oh yeah, Jamie
loves that. You guys try these? I'm gonna send it out to you. You guys can do a video.
So those are HGPs, not MREs, haunted ghost peppers, right? So
yes. And there's a warning. There's a warning on here. It says the contents of this bag are extremely frightening. Okay. So, and they're not responsible for what happens to you if you eat what's in this bag. But
you know what?
I'd love to send these out to you guys, and you guys do a video and try these together. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be crying, but I'll try them.
Trying.
There's a new video for you right there.
Yeah, right on, Heiko. Thanks, buddy.
There's one episode. There's one episode where Doug's eating an MRE on his own. Jamie was, I think it was maybe early in COVID or something, but you were by yourself. And I think the only crappy thing, that was a 17-year-old MRE or 15 years. And the juice was not really good, right?
But it was Canadian version.
Yeah, you made a good point, though. You said, if you're going to test out those older MREs, which really, you have to have an iron stomach for sometimes, but according to Jamie up there, but you want to be close to a toilet, right? So, and you know what, aside from eating the MRE, no, but you never know how you're going to react, right? Like Jamie up there, right? Puking his guts out from eating bad M&Ms, right?
Well, who would ever think M&Ms would be bad?
I don't know, but Metallica constantly likes to pick out the red ones, so maybe it's the red M&Ms that do it, right? I remember that though. They were like these chalky, like the M&Ms really weren't M&Ms anymore. They had this white kind
White, yeah,
chalk
they did.
film on
They had
them.
a white covering.
Yeah. So
Yeah, for sure.
That's just wrong. That's just terrible.
Not really. Like, I mean, hey, Hike, we'll put you in a Ziploc bag for 15 years.
Oh, you won't like the smell when you open that bag. There'll be a couple of old farts in that bag, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, I would say. But hey, he looks just like the day we packed him.
Yeah,
So
just rub the white fur off them. They'll be okay.
Keisha is saying, "Hey guys, my boyfriend has been exploring Ontario, portaging and winter camping. He's wondering what your favorite part of Ontario is."
Well, I mean, we're going to be very well. I know I'm going to be very not impartial on this one, but I think Northern Ontario is the absolute best playground for anybody. You can still get to even our just Sudbury surrounding area. We have 330 lakes. We can still find places where people aren't at and stuff, and you can backcountry camp without having to go to a provincial park if that's your thing and stuff. So it's a beautiful part of the world, despite what you may hear or not hear. But there's a reason why people come up north to go camping and canoeing. We had some great places to go canoeing too. And again, you don't have to get into the provincial park system if you don't want to. You can just do your own thing. So that's pretty cool. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree, Doug. The playground we have in our backyard here it's unmatched anywhere in Canada. Like, it's unbelievable. But I will say Killarney is unbelievable.
It's
Do you ever
beautiful,
get a chance to go around the Killarney area? Wow, it's breathtaking in so many different areas. It's amazing. Like, I mean, we're very fortunate to be where we are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
See, the thing is, I've traveled through a lot of Ontario. It's massive, and I find when you go north, it's beautiful. But when you're traveling in a car on the highway, you see lots and lots and lots of trees, and then you see little rivers once in a while and lakes once in a while. But I was lucky enough to spend a weekend in a little town called Manitouwadge.
Yeah, I know
where that is.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
Yep. It's
Beautiful
a little
area.
mining, logging town out in the middle of nowhere.
Did you go to the bakery?
The where?
The bakery.
The bakery, yes.
When you come down the hill on the right-hand side?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What a town. And you
It's
go in
beautiful
there,
area.
every driveway has a pickup truck, an ATV, and a snowmobile.
Yeah, unbelievable. And the people there are so nice.
Yeah, the guys took me out, and the guy I was staying with, he had some crazy friends. They had a little water plane. It was a 1942 Beaver. And he took me out on the water plane. And
that's awesome.
It was just a little tiny, tiny lake. But as soon as we took off and went up over the trees, I was shocked on how many lakes. It's like one after another. There's lakes everywhere. But you can't see that when you're on the ground. So you get to appreciate it when you do what you guys do, is you take your drones up, or you actually go physically out in the bush and you go from lake to lake to lake to lake. But if you get to see it like I did, it's mind-boggling on how much water is up there. It's just a beautiful piece of country.
Yeah, and traveling up 144 when you get just past Sudbury, I mean, it's the same way. It's one lake after another. It's like nonstop. And one day, when we went up northwest to Woodland Caribou Provincial Park, which is highly regarded as one of the best playgrounds in Ontario, the thing is, it's boreal forest, and that's what we have here in Sudbury. So you don't have to go 28 hours from Sudbury to get into the boreal forest. It's right here. So, I mean, for people down south looking to come up, you don't have to go more than 4 or 5 hours, and you're in the boreal. So, and before that, you hit Killarney. So, I mean, there's lots of options.
Wow. Yep.
Super cool. So, George, do you have any other questions for as sort of city slicker?
Do I have what?
Do you have any more questions for Doug and Jamie from a city slicker point of view?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I mean, like, okay, I'm kind of listening. I'm fascinated by watching the stars and the animals and the lakes. But I also noticed that you go down abandoned mines. Now that I don't know, not too sure. I don't want to go down an old gold mine or that I've seen on your videos.
Well, sometimes you just run into these things, and that's what happens when you're in the outdoors. I mean, like I found that abandoned mine cave, or that, whatever you want to call it. It's actually has a proper name, but I don't remember at the moment. But I found that on a previous trip, and then went back to actually explore the cave. But yeah, you don't see that kind of stuff unless you're out there exploring. So that's part of the adventure, finding stuff that you don't see every day. So that's cool.
So Derek's asking if you can see the northern lights from.
How far down did you go? How?
It was 100 feet in. It was about 100 feet into a mountain. Now, as far as Derek's question, Ringo, you can answer that. We do get to see the northern lights here sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
not often, but sometimes.
Yeah, once in a while.
Have you guys? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. We're talking about the ghost pepper chips. Have you guys ever seen a show called Eating History?
Yep.
On the History Channel.
Yep. It's like you and the MRAs, right?
Well, funny story is Jamie and I auditioned for that show.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't make it, but we did. We were auditioning. The actual company that was doing the auditions was out of New York City, and we had to do multiple auditions. Actually, we just didn't end up being in the top 3, but it could have been us on that show as the host.
Should have been us. Never mind.
Just another
That would
fun
have been
fact.
so cool.
It would have been great.
We're way better than the guys they picked.
I actually did a video about the. I did a video about the whole thing, but I haven't put it out yet. I'm waiting to see how popular the show gets. Then I'll put it out.
Yeah, you don't want to have to give away any more coffee cards from some kind of infringement.
Well, from trespassing on private property. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have
ahead.
a question for you guys. How prepared or how good are you guys at being out in the bush? Like, let's say you guys do a trip for 3 or 4 days out there, and for some stupid reason you run out of supplies or something happens to your supplies. Can you guys actually survive off of what nature provides you?
Jamie, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hunt, I fish. I can live off the land. I know if I'm stuck in the bush, I have no worries. Like, I mean, I'm a calm individual when shit hits the fan, and I know that if you took me and you dropped me off in the middle of nowhere, I know I'd be fine.
So yeah, if you're like in a little plane and you crash somewhere in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, you can survive for 2 or 3 weeks just
absolutely
on what Mother Nature provides for you.
Easily. I have no problem with that.
Awesome. That is, I really admire that. That is
as long as Jamie has his cook stove by what was the company's name?
A Blackstone.
Blackstone cook stove. And fresh hog egg with.
Wherever you are, you can get water, right?
Yeah.
But it's nourishment, like from the trees or the bushes or bark or whatever.
Start eating bark.
Yeah.
If you have to. And the one good thing, the good thing is when Jamie and I are out together, I always feel I'm more confident, because I know he's got my back and I got his, and together, we've become a formidable tandem out in the woods. It's I mean, we just do stuff.
But Doug, it's like carrying your own lunch. It's like carrying your own food supply with. If the good thing got really bad, right? You could eat Jamie, right? So
I don't know, man.
Oh, I don't think Doug would do that.
Wow.
No. I'd eat the birch bark first.
Then you're not a survivor.
There's a lot of wild edibles out there.
All
I
joking
agree. I
aside,
agree.
you know what? When Doug and I are in the bush, I will say one thing. The two of us kind of feed off each other because we're very calm. Like, I mean, even when shit's not going well, Doug and we're very, we joke a lot, but we're very well even keeled, the two of us, when we're together. And, I guess just because I'm comfortable with him, he's comfortable with me, and we just read the situation, and we just do well in the bush together.
That's really important. That's cool.
I
for sure.
firmly believe that anybody that grew up in Northern Ontario, like around our generation, and maybe Jamie's a little younger than we are, but you learn the tools to survive. Like I have a flat ass, right? And it's largely because my mom and dad have the same shoe size, and they would kick my ass, get the outside, right? You're not watching. I didn't know TV existed until like the 80s. So
Well, we only had like 3 channels.
fun
5,
fact.
3, and 9.
Right, exactly. And like, this is Tony Pooley reporting. Like it was just a bad.
Fun fact too is that Ringo and I used to play in bands together too.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Yeah.
So is there anything you guys have planned for the near future? Anything big, anything cool that you want to talk about? Like this?
I broke
Jamie?
my
Doug, we're going to go to Mars.
Yeah, we're gonna go look for more UFOs. There's always stuff. There's always stuff going on. I don't like to say too much about what we're doing in the future. I like to keep that. It is a little bit of a surprise. One of the problems with the channel is we have a little bit too much variety for YouTube's liking. They like channels that kind of stick to one thing, and that's and it's kind of unfortunate because I get bored doing one thing. Like if all I did was MRE reviews, I'd be extremely bored with that. Or if all I did was camping, I would get bored with that too. We like to go to cool places, see interesting things, meet interesting people. And that's part of the reason why we changed the name to Productions, because we don't want to get pigeon-toed in just necessarily outdoor stuff, or we want to be able to do whatever. If we meet up with someone who's really interesting and they're an interesting barber or whatever, we possibly do a story on them. We're looking for good stories all the time. So we're always on the hunt for good stories. Recently Jamie and I did a good one on the 8th deadliest tornado that hit Canada, which was actually hit Sudbury in 1970. And so, it's outdoors related, but it's not us being in the outdoors. It's about something that happened that a lot of younger people didn't know about. And projects like that, pretty proud of, because we put a lot of work into stuff, and into our community and educating our community or sharing stuff, So that kind of stuff's cool too.
Yeah, you guys do. Very cool. Yeah. I like the way, Doug, that you one of your episodes you talked about where you're from, like Sudbury, the Sudbury Basin, and how the basin was created, and the whole space element. That was pretty cool. In fact, George, being a city slicker who knew nothing, is really unfamiliar with territory beyond Barrie. I brought him to that. I actually did like.
I know.
I brought him to show him the Sudbury Basin and how that all came about, and the neutrino lab and all of that. But it's a pretty fabulous place up there, and definitely a lot of you guys do a great job, I think, in just kind of letting everyone know that, hey, whether it's a day hike or something a little more extreme, like going out with your trailer and glamping a bit, whatever the case may be, it's the way to go. But I do believe that, you drop these guys in a bush, they'll come out as very sound. So my beef though today is that, honestly, like, I see kids today on just doing video games and stuff like that, like all the time, all night, and especially with COVID, it's all night long. But I always wonder, like, that exact question: if they were lost or in the middle of the wilderness, could you fend for yourself, right? And it's something we grew up with up there. So George, I think it was a great idea that you came up with some of the questions for tonight. And it's from your perspective being a city slicker.
I actually, one of the many things I learned last week when I was just looking up was that there's been over $500 billion of nickel have been dug up in Sudbury because of the meteor that hit. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
Was it a meteor though?
Yeah.
Oh, don't start, Jamie.
Okay,
don't
Jamie.
Don't start.
Come on, Jamie. Let's hear a little bit. Give us something.
Oh, Doug.
Hey, you bought that house off some crackpot. You tell the story.
Here we
a
go.
world renowned
Crackpot.
It's put out 3 books published. Claims that Sudbury was not formed from a meteor.
Oh,
and actually has hard facts that it was not created from a meteor.
So what do I say to Jamie? Let's get him on the channel. But
I know, and you know what?
I
keep trying to get him on the channel because I want to interview him so bad, but he's actually in the middle of publishing a book right now. But you know what? We'll try. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Stay on that. It'd be interesting.
He was talking to me within the first 5 minutes. It was like, I'm like, okay, well, slow down. I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
I mean, the deposits up there tell the story, right? Like, it's just in the impact of the crater and some of the evidence it's left behind. There's no doubt, right?
But I'll tell you one thing. He actually said that just from what people say with the impact that a crater hit, he says it's not a meteor because a meteor doesn't hit like that in the actual area that hit Sudbury Basin. So, and he has proof to prove it. So it's amazing. Like, I mean, hopefully Doug and I can get him on the channel.
Does he believe in a flat Earth?
Aliens?
I don't want to get involved right now. Like, I'll hopefully we can get him on the channel. Stay tuned.
Okay, cool.
So you're saying it's aliens? All right. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Actually, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But so I guess guys, we're gonna wrap up. But tell us about your socials. I mean, we've been pitching that, but how can people find you online?
You know what? You can Google PINETREE Line Productions or PINETREE Line Outdoors, either one. You use the search engine in YouTube to find us. Again, same names. And we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter as well. Rob, a guy that suggested earlier that I open an MRE in the mall, he does my Facebook page, and he's got a lot of funny stuff. He makes fun of Jamie and I quite a bit on the page. So it's something a little different, entertaining, and
he just wants you barfing in a mall.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure he does.
I noticed all the funny captions, and I'm like, oh, these guys can't be doing self-loathing, but it actually it's pretty good.
He's pretty clever when he wants to be, for sure.
Yeah, I particularly like the one about the posable doll. So I actually had it on a green screen, but I thought no, I won't. Didn't want to.
Well, there's a lot more. He's got some good stuff with Jamie, but Jamie gets upset when he makes fun of him too much. So I have to kibosh some stuff. So
Jamie,
I let him make fun of me.
When you put it in somebody else's hands, this is what they do, right? So
exactly, those techie nerds, they get you every time.
They get you every time.
They take advantage. Hey, you know what, guys? We thank you for having us on. It's a real pleasure. It's really our first podcast or radio cast. So, man, really, really thank you very much for having us on.
Well, we're launching.
You know what? We hope to have you on again in the future. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, we'd love to. Fantastic.
Cheers, boys.
So we're going to
cheers.
We're going to wrap up the show, but we're going to put you guys in the green room, and then we'll roll the show out and we'll say our goodbyes. And yeah, definitely you got an open invitation. We're on a new network on the 25th of this month, and more to come on that. But that'll expand. It's based out of Montreal, so we're growing the listenership, right?
Absolutely.
That was awesome. Good stuff, guys. Keep it going, and I'm super impressed seeing you guys grow from under 1,000 to what 3,000 plus subscribers now, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
great.
everybody get outside. Get outside. That's the message.
Get outside.
Get outside.
Oh, and go to their merch site.
Yes.
They've got wicked hoodies. The logos. Doug, is that a pine tree hat you got on?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Love it. So
shirts.
and Jamie, I'm sure has got a black one. Is that a black pine tree hat you got
This
up
is
there?
Greater Sudbury Graphics, one of our sponsors.
All
Yeah,
right.
we actually that hat was bought in support of breast cancer. So that good on you for wearing that, James.
Nice.
Thanks, brother.
We like to
So-
give back to the community as well. So we've
Yeah.
done some stuff with Big Brothers and some other groups
Absolutely.
too. So
What
Gotta
we'll
give
do
back to the
too
community.
is we'll keep plugging you guys, and we want more and more people to watch what you guys put out on the internet and follow you guys as well. It's a really cool thing you guys are doing.
awesome. Thanks, Heiko.
Yeah,
great.
you
Oh,
know,
man.
I hope
George,
we
any-
do this again.
George, any last words? Okay.
No,
George
And,
is like,
I'm down to 16% on the battery here. The phone's dying.
all right. Heiko, you can roll us out then.
All right. Well, let me put my eyes on, because without them, it's a bad thing. So you guys stay on, and later, give me a place that I can send this little bag to you guys to try out. That'd be wonderful. we'll do it. We'll have you on the air again when you guys try it.
Oh God.
But I want to thank the listeners and viewers that were part of our show tonight, which is Derek, Bobby, John, Cliff, Warren, Julia, Kathy, Rob, Keisha, and James. Thanks again, everybody. We'll be back again next Monday night at 9:30 on the Heikadelic Show. Take care, everybody. See you then. And thanks, you guys, for being on. That was
All the
awesome.
best. Take care.
Okay. See you next time.
You better subscribe to PINETREE Line Outdoors, and here's why. Have a look. It's been an incredible time. Aubrey Falls. Why are we here? What is this abomination behind us? Okay.
Well, that's another wrap for the Heikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Heikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Heikadelic Show, please find us at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Heikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Heikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@theheikedelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Heikadelic Show, fans.